Hello and welcome everybody to the ACL Sydney pool reveals as this lovely gentleman Maynard next to me waves. Say a big hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maynard. Lovely to be here. Sorry about that. Just finished dinner and rushed home to make it in time for these groups. And I'm actually very, very excited. Continue.
Well, thank you for being here. For those of you who haven't been involved with one of these before, this is where we reveal the top 16 pro spots and each of the four groups that we have or four pools that we have at ACL Sydney. So, how each of the pools work is we have 16 pre-seeded players, four go into each bracket, and then the remaining two spots are taken up by open bracket players. That is done at the actual Sydney event. So this reveal is just purely to see where the pro players are seated, who's going to be playing against each other, and how it's going to work is we are going to reveal each pool one at a time, and if we can, we'll arrange an interview with one of the players, but that's just pending availability. So we'll start with pool A, go B, C, and then D. And I'll also at the end give a bit of a background on a few updates. I know a few of you have been having questions about map pools and various breakdowns of various things, so I'll give you a few updates there. So I guess without further ado, are you ready, Maynard, to start this?
So ready.
All
I was
right.
I was ready for ACL Brisbane, and something happened. So I've
Oh,
been ready since
yes.
then,
Well,
man. Let's go.
touch wood, but hope you don't get sick for this one. So we'll start with Pool A as we switch over. As you can see, we've got the two open bracket spots there that will be claimed at Sydney. But the first player, who is our actual number one seed, which probably isn't a surprise to most people, is in fact
Not a
King Kong.
surprise at all.
Yes,
Yep, there he is.
King Kong pretty much has been dominating everything. Just to put it in perspective, in the year of ACL 2014, he has won 41 maps and lost four. So that's a 91% map conversion,
I'm
which,
actually very surprised that he lost that many.
yeah,
The
yeah,
fact that he's lost four is actually yeah, I'm like literally shocked that he's actually has lost that many. It
yeah,
seems like I cast most of the ACL things. And he really just seems to destroy everybody in this region. Apart from a few of the old guard that really give it home to him, and actually, I think one of those, like a quarter of his maps taken away, was taken away by Hut in the grand final. So that was cool as well.
yeah. This does include obviously ACL Brisbane, and if you weren't familiar, that was quite a grand final. Able to take a map off him
Oh,
there,
that
and
was actually extremely exciting. I watched that whole thing from home.
Yeah, it was awesome. The other three maps, he lost one map in online round two, where I'm not actually sure who took that off. I think it might have been Crimson, but the other one, he lost two maps in online round three. But I mean, four maps when you're winning 41, let's be honest, that's crazy. So he's going to be a tough one to beat. But I guess the second person in his group, the first to kind of challenge him, will be in fact Crimson, who I was just mentioning before. So he's another Zerg player. Do you know much about Crimson? I feel like 2014 has been a good year for Crimson in terms of, I guess, being able to show himself a bit more and be more of a presence in the scene.
Yeah, just talk about Crimson for a bit. I'm pretty sure he was on Iris initially, is when I first heard about this guy. I'm pretty sure he's either from New Zealand or involved heavily in the Iris, who was a New Zealand clan. But yeah, he looks amazing these days, dude. I cast him play in the qualifiers leading up for ACL Brisbane. It was the first time I saw Val play, the Mech Terran that everyone knows and loves, the new addition to the scene. And his game one versus Val is a game that I'll remember for a very long time. I believe it was on Frost. It was a Mech TVZ, and it was incredible. It was a really close game, and even Val being the very very high placed Masters Korean player, European Grandmaster, was applauding Crimson's play after that, and we all were too. Everyone that was watching, which was quite a few people, and Zeph and myself were just really impressed with Crimson's ZVT and his abilities. So, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be too many T for him to worry about, but he looks incredible, and his skill is definitely better now than it ever has been.
Yeah, and also I just did a bit of background. It was actually Crimson in online round two who took a map off King Kong. So obviously I can't recall the exact way that was. I mean, ZVZ might have been an early game, but either way, Crimson has taken one of the four maps off King Kong, so I
It's a
guess
good
that's
sign.
it's
It's a
it's
good sign. Yeah.
it definitely is a good sign. So I guess Crimson's hoping he can increase that 1-2 in a set and take that best of three. But the third person in his group will be NXZ, NXZ, depends how you pronounce your Z or Z's, but I think he actually prefers
Ryan
NXZ, I think.
Ryan mother fudging Jones.
Yeah. So
This kid.
well, you know what? It's hard, I guess, when I look at ACL in 2014. I do notice that there's been a lot of Exile fives together, and I do feel somewhat sorry. And obviously, I can't necessarily impact that. It's purely seeding based. But equally, when you've got King Kong, Pig, and XZ, it's hard to not be meeting each other in these tournaments. And it's not just one person out of the groups. In terms of the actual how it's going to run. Still finalizing whether we're going for two out of the pools or three, and whether it's double limb, single limb. So I'll be finalizing that with you guys later this week. But either way, NXZ, even though he's up against his teammate King Kong, still can put up quite a fight, and I think would be pretty happy with fighting against Crimson.
Yeah, NXZ obviously an incredible player. He's a very passionate player, which I respect heavily. I really love a passionate guy. Anyone who loves StarCraft anywhere near as much as I do tends to express that when they have a big win. And NXZ, showing us that a very popular GIF that went around back in the day when he was going real deep in ACL Brisbane in 2013 was really will stick in my mind forever. And he's been doing well recently as well. So him and Crimson, I feel, are extremely good players. And with ZVZ, I mean, King Kong is the king of ZVZ, but I'm not surprised to see him lose a map or two to either of these guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's funny. I do remember. I kind of wish in hindsight that I saved that GIF so I can
yeah,
look back at. I'm sure someone will kind of dig it back up. I'm sure there's a few chat groups who have it saved. But either way, definitely excited for this group so far. It is a lot of Zergs. Welcome to see. I guess that's all you
yeah.
really can
Welcome to
say.
Southeast Asia, guys. If anyone's not watching this, first of all, wow, welcome, thank you. But second of all, this is the place, the land down under, or the region down under, where it's going to be all sorts of Zergs,
Yeah.
bugs all over the place.
And Crimson kind of called it, but the fourth one of this group, finalizing this group,
He
it
did
is going
call
to
it,
be
didn't he?
ZVZVZVZ. It is CHOBOSNIPER.
Ah, my favorite.
Great name, if I can say so.
He
Um,
is a chobo sniper, but unfortunately, there's not too many chobos for him to snipe in this group.
yeah, you
He'll have
you
to rely on open bracket because there's sure as hell aren't any in the moment.
it's definitely accurate. Chobo actually, let me just quickly look off the top of my head here. He wasn't too bad actually in terms of the yearly points. He came in. He was definitely down the bottom of the total points, but one of our more active players in ACL, and as a result, has been able to sneak a spot into Sydney. And I mean, if anyone hasn't been following, the points is based off online round one, online round two, ACL Brisbane, online round three, and online round four. So there are a lot of opportunities for players to earn points, but also it means that with so many points on offer, it's no small thing to be in the top 16 of this ACL year. So big shout outs to Turbo Sniper being able to make it into that top 16. And I guess it's
Poor guy.
yeah,
That's all I have to say.
it's probably not the best group for him, but equally,
Oh,
like you were saying,
goodness.
it's such a top heavy ACL that it's going to be hard to find a group where you're not in a lot of trouble in that sense. So
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no one really. I mean, I've got a sneak arena of the groups here, and I don't see too many complete scrubs in here, and you wouldn't expect that in any group stage.
yeah,
But we can talk about the open bracket later. Some of the people that have signed up, but for the time being, you're absolutely right. If you're in the group stages, you deserve to be there, and you're going to have to deal with a lot of super big bad bosses. The
yes.
final boss, of course, being King Kong, as predicted by most of the crowd.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to get NXZ in here in the call with us.
Oh, that excites me. Yes,
He's
please.
he's allowed us his time. So let me just quickly get him into the call, and I guess he'll be able to give us his thoughts on, I guess, his preparation and also how he thinks about his group so far.
Mm. Oh, lovely display picture.
Yeah, Definitely deep in thought there. Ryan, how are you?
Yo, I'm
Hey,
doing good.
handsome. How do you feel about this group, buddy?
Um, it's pretty tough, but
Yep.
I, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot easier than it was last year, so I can't complain.
That
But
is true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
but I respect Crimson a lot. He's a really good player. Um, gets the better of me all the time, so that's going to be really tough. And obviously, King Kong is just like insane. So, oh.
Mm.
Just a
And
lot
then
of shaking of
CHOBOSNIPER
head.
obviously is pretty good player too.
So it's kind of like up the second spot is up for grabs, so to speak, in this group. I think because
Yeah,
it would be like I feel like the planet would implode and the universe would fold on itself and start again from the dinosaurs if King Kong doesn't make it out of this one.
Yeah.
yeah.
But who's that second dude that goes along with him? I think.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
I
be really
feel
interesting.
I personally feel you and Crimson have the biggest shot.
Yeah, I
So
I tend to agree with that. I think CHOBOSNIPER is very good, but maybe not quite uh as good.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's many levels in pro level, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Does this?
there's
Sorry.
so many Zergs, man. So many Zergs.
You should be used to it by now, mate.
Exactly. If you've been
Yeah.
in StarCraft since it's been out for 4 years, man, the scenes has not changed that much.
Yeah, it hasn't. It
So
hasn't at all.
So a question here,
Yeah.
does this impact your like I assume you do you practice with King Kong outside of tournaments? I know it's hard because we've had a lot of tournaments. Does this impact how you practice going in?
Not well. King Kong didn't have internet until like a week ago.
I remember now that he kind of didn't practice for Brisbane and still almost won.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So like his practice was like he'd go to an internet cafe and practice like a day and that was it. But yeah, so like, I haven't played with him much. I definitely won't be asking him for like ZVZ help or anything, but um, other than that, I was practicing a bit with Revenant, so I didn't get him in my group, so that's good.
yeah.
hmm.
Other than that, I hit Crimson on ladder like 2 days ago, and he was like doing retarded builds because he was like, I don't want to hit you, man. Don't want to, don't you know what I'm doing? Um, yeah,
Awesome. Well, obviously it depends based on whether we end up having two or three out of groups. I guess as to how
yeah,
comfortable you are. I would imagine with if it does do the three, then you probably feel a little bit more comfortable in
yeah.
the group. I guess
Well, what I will say is that I think the open bracket is actually a lot harder than it was at Brisbane
Hmm.
for this tournament. I
Yep,
know, I think Igers is coming.
he sure
Um,
is.
yeah, so I know like there's a good chance that we'll have some tough players coming into the open bracket. So it's not going to be easy, even if it is 3 people to make it out. But I mean, again, it's nothing compared to last year, man. It's like a walk in the park. So as long as I pull it together, I think I can do it.
It really amazes me that well, it goes to show the level of these groups coming up when you call King Kong, Crimson, CHOBOSNIPER a walk in the park.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's interesting to me. But
yeah. It's like we have the race wars chat, and all these guys are like, oh, what groups are we gonna get? And I'm like, well, we don't have T-Gun, Mafia, Rossi, Light, uh, Death playing.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. um,
Mm.
but yeah, what I will say though is for the WCS qualifiers I've been playing, and I've had like a really successful first day where I played really well. I finished second to Moonglade, then second to Mighty Kiwi. And then on the second day, I just got crushed. And at Brisbane as well, I did really well in day one. Then day two, Wally took me out. And so hopefully this time around, I can either, if I can keep the pattern for day one, but maybe break it for day two, that'd be really good.
Yeah.
Well, it is a day two event. It is a 2 day event, so you got to be bringing that day two swagger, man. Can't
If
just
you're
Yeah.
gonna
bring it
bring
day
it,
one.
yeah. If you're gonna bring it, you might as well bring it to Sydney with that prize
Yeah,
pool. So.
exactly.
Well, obviously, all the best, NXZ. I'm sure you've got
Yeah.
a busy few weeks of practice and everything else that you have to do to prepare. And obviously, we'll see who your open bracket players are, but it's probably most likely some Zergs and maybe a Terran with Igers in the open bracket. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So, all the best. And I guess Maynard, if you have any final thoughts.
Um, Go and practice NXZ. Jesus, what are you on the call? What are you on the call for us for?
2-0 King Kong. 2-0 King Kong.
2-0 King Kong,
That's
easy.
right.
Yep. Okay,
Calling
there
it
you go.
now.
All
Those are
right.
sick last words.
Well,
You guys,
actually, yeah.
sorry.
Before I let you go, speaking of this 2-0, like, is there anyone particularly going into Sydney that you either want to verse or want to avoid, or any general thoughts about how Sydney's going to pan out for you?
I really want to hit Igers and beat him because he's been
No.
someone like I have like he's like this huge big player with insane TVZ. So I really want to hit him and take him out convincingly. So that's like my big goal. Other than that, there's just a lot of Zerg. So I want to hopefully be playing solidly in that matchup.
Yeah.
Uh, as far as players to avoid, I mean, hopefully King Kong is on the very other side of the bracket. Should we both make it through to day two, uh, and hopefully we avoid Revenant, myself, and King Kong all on the same side again.
Yeah,
'Cause that,
I was just talking to Maynard about it before. It seems like it's like Exile 5 Team Kill ACL 2014.
yeah,
We just,
yeah.
Mm.
but there's so
Well,
many of you. I can't avoid
yeah, I
it.
was gonna say
Sorry.
There's
the
three
XL
of us
five
though.
guys
There's
are
only
all
three.
well, the XL5 guys are all top end of the spectrum, and these groups are all top end of the spectrum, and they're all gonna fight each other. So I mean,
Yeah,
Don't
and you're
hate
all a
me,
bunch of
fools.
Zergs as well. I mean, geez,
yeah, yeah. I think
Christ.
we're like all Zergs now. I don't even know if we have a not Zerg player.
Well, I mean, there
So
was Megafonzie, but he's not
yeah,
playing anymore, right? So there goes your non-bug player.
Yeah,
yeah. X5 the amount of Zergs as we had before.
Oh,
got it.
oh,
Well, on
that's
that
sad.
note, I can't. We can't top that. You
Nah,
really should
that's it.
just. You
That's
should
it.
just hang
That's
up the
it.
All right,
call
guys.
just then.
Thank you.
That's it. See you, dude.
Yeah. Peace.
Thank you, Ryan. Good to speak with you. So that's
Welcome.
obviously Pool A. Yeah, I will give that a soft clap, bit of a golf clap there. So that is Pool A, 4 Zergs. I will say, I feel like this is not spoiling, but this is the only 4 Zerg group, so get hype. Um, but obviously most of them will be predominantly Zerg. So yeah, King Kong, Crimson, NXZ, CHOBOSNIPER, we've given our thoughts. King Kong, obviously the favorite. Well, not obviously, but probably most likely for most people the favorite. And Crimson, NXZ going to be fighting probably for that second spot, depending who comes in the open bracket. And we'll see what CHOBOSNIPER can produce. But
And there might be a third spot where we don't know just yet.
yes,
All right, okay.
we'll clarify that coming
Yep.
coming
Whether
week.
it's going to be round of 12 or round of 8, I suppose.
Yeah, whether it's like single limb, double limb. So there's a few things we need to work out scheduling. But without further ado, let's get into Pool B.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. And so first one off the ranks, Petrify, who was our second seed coming into the event. Well-known Zerg. Actually, Silicon Sports have been making waves in 2014. I've been very impressed with how they're performing. And Petrify especially, he's been actually in the top 6 of most, if not all, of the ACL rounds he's been involved in, I think,
Yeah.
except for WCS, where I think he came 10th in on the first day, so narrowly missing out there. But Petrify, solid Zerg. I guess is, what can you really say?
Yep. Cifano himself, the Italian stallion, Petrify. I fully expect for him to come out of this group. Not, I'm looking at the other guys. Other people can't see the other guys, but I think he's a group topper for sure in this pool. And he just seems to be able to win without practicing heaps. Although lately he's been playing a fair bit, and he's been he's been saying that he's practicing a fair bit. I don't actually know. I can't perv on his account because I don't think I have him as a friend. But he when he practices, he is incredible. I mean, we can't forget the fact that he did beat Petraeus back in the day for the hashtag real pet battle that went down at ACL Melbourne last year. And like you said, consistently finishes top in most tournaments. So
yeah, he's going to be a tough one to beat. And who's going to try and defeat that? It's going to be our first Protoss reveal, and it's going to be Probe.
yup. Hashtag YOP. You're Probe.
And for good reason. Probe has been doing very well. I feel like between him and Pez really are the two kind of shining lights for the Protoss race here in C. We do have a few guys. Frustration's actually coming back into the scene, which is exciting to see some.
Yeah,
some
he'll
old
be in the
blood.
open bracket, I believe, actually.
Yes, he will be, but obviously Probe is the man we're speaking of now. So Probe versus Petrify. I feel like that's going to be quite a good battle. Quite one to watch.
Yeah, I think that Probe has the skills to pay the bills in this group. and his PVZ is obviously something that he's played a shitload of because he is. Oops, pardon the language there, Baldy.
That's okay.
He is a Southeast Asian player. He's an Australian, so he has played Zerg before, to say the least. So his matchup is quite handy. We've seen a lot of really. He can pull out some crazy madness builds, a lot of cheese, and can play the longer game as well. So he'll be one to look out for sure. I think that he'll probably be leaving this group with Petrify.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. But it also obviously depends on who the third and fourth player of its group. So we can reveal the third player is going to be Kez. So we do have Silicon versus Silicon here in the pools. Kez in the Silicon team. And Kez is one of those guys that you know what he's like the guy that runs in everything and he has like I don't want to say participation war because that's definitely not like he's not unskilled, but he's been playing in every single ACL event and he just earns enough points to get in every single Pro 16. And from there, it's like I feel like that really motivates Kez because I notice he comes to lands and he's just like, all right, I'm going to top my group. Like he has the motivation to do that, and that's I give credit to Kez the fact that he's willing to play in all these events. It means he doesn't have to go through open bracket. He can come in fresh, play against the likes of Petrify and Probe, and whoever the fourth person in his group is, and I think he's definitely a shot of making some waves in this group. I reckon.
Yeah, Kez is, I've met him, had a few words with him. I've known him for quite a while now. He even cast with him as well. He's a really, really good player, top end of the spectrum. Maybe not as top as Petrify. Maybe I think he used to be for sure, but I don't know how much he's been playing lately. He's kind of like our region's Slivko. Like he's Zerg. He's usually comes about medium to deep in tournaments, and his arms are 22 inches thick. So it's like he's got sort of got that Slivko vibe to him for our region, and he's a really nice guy. I do hope he goes through, but I think Petrify and Probe may have his number.
I feel like that's probably accurate, but we'll see. Again, it all depends on that 2-3 seed going into finals.
Yeah, we'll see.
But the fourth one, and I am really excited about this guy's play, Schnitzel. Now he has communicated with me. Now, for those of you who saw him at Brisbane, he played random, and he was so close. I believe he was one best of three. Like if one best of three went his way, then he might have made it out of pools into championship. But he legitimately played random in every single pool play in ACL Brisbane and almost made it out of pools. And I just think that is phenomenal. But he has communicated with me for this event that he's going to be doing Protoss and Zerg. So mixing between the two, as you can actually change your race between sets, obviously not between actual games within a set. But we'll see who he plays Zerg against, who he plays Protoss. His main is Protoss, so I'd imagine he'd be saving that for the heavy hitters and perhaps tickling some Zerg in there against people he fancies.
I can't imagine why he'd want to play Zerg against any of these guys. He has a much better shot playing Protoss.
Yeah, look, it might be, if anything, perhaps he'd play it against Probe if he doesn't like PvP. It might be just purely a situational thing, but again, he didn't know the groups coming in here, so it's up to him. But I would say most of the games, if not all of them, will be on Protoss. But I am excited. Like we said, he played really well at Brisbane. He showed some good Terran, some good Zerg, and obviously is Protoss, so he can play each matchup. So we'll have to see. But I actually really like this group. I mean, Petrify, I definitely feel like he's the kind of the here. But Probe maybe slightly ahead of Kez and Schnitzel, but no one's like really far stretched from each other. I think there can be some serious upsets or some serious close games here.
I feel like the order that you've been announcing these groups, Pool A and Pool B, I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 in these groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the top left guy has been like my number 1, followed by the next guy being my number 2, and then my number 3. So I'm still feeling Petrify and Probe if it's 2 people, Petrify, Probe, and Kez if it's 3. I love you, Schnitzel, but I don't know if you're going to be able to take out these gentlemen here at the top of this pool.
Yeah, well, it's fitting that you say the 1, 2, 3, 4 because obviously, well, if you don't know, we reveal the top seed of each group and then the second seed of each group and the third seed. So it's kind of fitting that kind of seeding has somewhat to do with their skill level. So we'll see though. I'll be excited. It'd be pretty cool if every single group actually worked out like that. I don't think I've seen that before, but I think I'll see if I can grab a hold of somebody. I might even have to get Kez in here. He's always an entertainer. Or Petrify. Actually, I think I spoke with Petrify. Let me just see if the old buddy is
I'm
available.
happy for whoever. I mean,
He's
it's
offline.
it's actually looking like Schnitzel wants to come on the call. To
Ah,
be
well,
honest,
look. If we have a request, I'm happy to take a
I think
request.
Schnitzel wants to talk to me.
Let's get Schnitzel. It could be a bit of a bit of
I
a
think Schnitzel
fight coming
wants to come on the call and talk to me about my predictions.
All right, here we go. All right, I'll happily allow that request. We'll add him to the call now.
Schnitzel, if you would like to, you have your chance to have a chat. Let's go.
All right,
Don't be afraid.
don't be afraid. No fear.
Mm.
Here we go. Michael, how are you?
Pretty good. So,
Hey,
what's with this BM?
It's not BM, my friend. I'm just calling it as I see it. I feel like Petrify, Probe, and Kez are going to go deeper. I'm sorry to say, just based off what I've casted of you, which is obviously 0.1% of the games you've played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Petrify and Probe top 2, but I don't know. It'll be between me and Kez for third, I think. We'll
Mhm.
see.
Yeah.
So you're not afraid of anyone in the open bracket picking this group?
Well, I don't know. They might want to dodge Petrify and Probe, so that's always a
Mhm.
good sign, I guess. And if they've got really good versus C, they'll just pick Pool A.
Mm-hmm. Wow, pool, I can't imagine too many people jumping into Pool A head
Yeah,
first.
well.
Probably Igers. He loves King Kong.
Well, he'd like to take him out early, that's for sure. But don't know if that'll happen. We'll see.
So I spoke with you earlier, Schnitzel, about whether you're going to play random or just Protoss. I'm guessing obviously Protoss and Zergy are two favored of the three matchups. Just are you not feeling the Terran this round?
Yeah, so like my Protoss is like sitting around like Brandon Masters sort of thing. My Zerg's around like low to mid Masters, but my Terran was always like down around like low Diamond or something, and I never really got it up to the level that I really needed it to be. And I swear, every time I went random, I got like 75% Terran as well, so that didn't help either.
That happens to me too, man. When I play random on the ladder, I always get Terran. I'm
Yeah.
like, why do I even hit this random button? I might as well just select Terran. It's like been 8 or 9 games in a row.
Plus,
But,
plus.
Yeah, they're just trying to pad out the Terran numbers, I think.
Yeah, try and total Terran games, and they can say it's
Yeah,
all.
make
But,
those stats look good.
So I'd imagine Schnitzel, most of your games would be Protoss, and I guess it depends. You might flick out a Zerg here and there. Are you confident PvP versus Probe, or you don't have to answer this because it could potentially reveal something. But how are you feeling against the PvP matchup?
Well, if you saw Probe's tweet a while ago, his PvP is like 0.86 confirmed. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
I did forget that.
decision.
Wasn't he
No, but-
wasn't he laddering from a fresh account as well? So it might have been platinum.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Well, I guess perhaps.
Yeah, but basically he like hates PvP with a vengeance, sort of thing. So if I can just do some weird stuff, I might be able to cause an upset. But we'll see.
Yeah.
He's
I've got-
generally more solid than me.
I got a question. You don't have to say who because obviously it's kind of strategically detrimental. But is there anyone in this group that you would play Zerg against instead of Protoss? Just a yes or no is fine.
Maybe someone from the open bracket.
Oh,
but
that's
it
not a
depends.
yes or no, bro. Oh, come on, bro. would you Zerg any of these people?
Yeah.
Cool. That's all. That's
That's
interesting.
exciting. That is exciting.
That is exciting. I'd be very happy to see it for sure.
We'll see there. You're not pressured into it, by the way. It's fine.
I'll drop the casted game that's on stage, and I will go backstage, or even if it's on stage, I will demand people bring you up into the stage area for your Zerg versus any of these people. I'll be very excited to cast it. Very
I
excited.
might proxy Tempest someone as well. We'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just giving all the strats out.
I've cast you do that before. I'm not sure it turned out okay, but you definitely gave it a
When
go.
was the last time I did it?
I reckon it was. If it was the last time I casted you, it would have been an ACL qualifier last year.
It was first Wally, I'm pretty sure, and he scattered like straight away because he's a jerk.
Yeah, well,
shots.
that's scouting ability, huh? It's
Now, if I had Fenner in my group, I'd do it, but
So many subtle shots. It's great. So
it's good. It's
shots
good.
are real.
I asked the same thing of NXZ. So Schnitzel, is there anyone particularly you'd like to face, whether it be in or obviously outside of your group? Should you advance, and perhaps someone you don't want to verse or a rival or anything?
I want to beat up Wally. Beating up Wally's fun.
In
Yeah.
game or?
Both.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Wally is quite
Yeah.
the talker.
The shots aren't even subtle anymore. They're just straight up.
Yeah, I just want to see the 10 tweets in a row blaming Blizzard for creating a horrible game and how
I'm
Force
seeing
Fields are broken.
as this
It'll be
tournament
great.
comes closer, if anyone wants to follow at Frey Wally on Twitter, he's been very angry. My goodness. It's a very entertaining drama Twitter account right now.
Hopefully I'll be able to ramp it up though.
Well, we all hope so. So we do enjoy it. Anyone that's on on Twitter, please do follow Wally and Reinhardt SC2 as well for Probe. Schnitzel, you are Echo Schnitzel on the twits,
Yeah.
Billy? Yep, that's the one.
Awesome. And is there anyone?
Petrify?
Petrify. I think he's Petrify.
SCLN,
Yeah, that's
SLCN, Petrify. I can't remember.
Well, he's calling
Silicon
you 12.
SLCN. There it is.
All right. Well, I feel like if I entertain this battle between you and Wally, we probably will be here all night. So this might be something you have to take offline here.
You guys will have to continue the battle in Twitch chat, I feel.
But
Twitch chat for now.
Yeah. Obviously, all the best, Schnitzel. I'm definitely a fan of your work and obviously all the best with your preparation going into this event. And we'll have to see what happens. But definitely excited to have you down for Sydney. So we'll look forward to seeing you then.
Okay. I'll see you later.
See you, dude. I look forward to meeting. I look forward to meeting a lot of these guys in Sydney because I actually haven't met a lot of them, and they're kind of like the up and comers. So I'm excited to see them because they're no doubt going to be at future groups.
Yes, indeed. Well, Maynard, we're up to C. This is we're at halfway. We're technically not over yet, but
oh god,
let's tick over the halfway point with this. Pez is our first player in Pool C, third seed, highest Protoss in ACL 2014. He's been very solid. You know, the first time I met Pez was actually at ACL Melbourne 2012. He was on stage versus Kez, and that was back in the day when I think all he did was 2-base all-ins. And I remember that's also how I met Kez. But I remember Kez was not too fond of that game. He walked off stage pretty frustrated. But since then, Pez has definitely expanded his play. Still very solid with all-ins and everything, but we've seen time and time again Pez can bring out a macro game, and I think that's really exciting. So I'm definitely a big fan of Pez. He actually came fourth at ACL Brisbane, and just narrowly missing out on beating, I think it was beating Hut to take a spot in the finals. So
yeah, and Pez has been doing very well recently. He's got a good focus for the game. A better mindset as well, I want to say. Like in the little bits that we've been talking to, like we sort of, a bit of a backstory is we've sort of started a little Skype group for a bunch of people that want to fight each other for money. Hopefully, going to do that at some point. We're all pretty busy, but especially with ACL coming up. But I got to talk to Pez basically a little bit, and he seems like he's got a really good mindset for the game. I've honestly haven't had much one-on-one time talking with the guy before, and that sort of attitude impresses me. On top of the fact that he plays amazingly, all the games that we've seen of his have been very, very high level, apart from one or two micro mistakes, which happen to anyone, even King Kong. I fully believe that Pez is going to be getting out of this group rather easily.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate call. And his first opponent, which definitely you'd feel Pez has the upper hand on, is Alapex. He is our Zerg player. Again, Alapex, I don't really recall much in terms of 2013, but he's been a lot more active this year, and definitely in the online sense of it. And I'm definitely excited to see his progression. Did he actually come? Yeah, he did actually come to Brisbane. He came 10th overall, so he actually made it into the top 12 championship bracket. So that's no small feat against people like King Kong, Hut, Pig. That was the last one Pig was at before he went over to Europe. So Alapex can play well, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to quickly check. Maybe you can give us some thoughts on what your thoughts are with him. But he went so crazy in the last online round. I'm pretty sure he didn't drop a map for quite some time. But anyway, do you have some thoughts on him?
Alapex has been around forever. He's probably the one that's been around as longer than any of these players, to be honest. I feel like he was playing back in 2010. That's how long this guy's been around, and he's been getting better and better, albeit slowly, but he's been getting better and better and better as time goes on. He's definitely the best now that he's ever been, which is the same that you said for most of these people. I feel like the level of play in StarCraft gets better as time goes on anyway, just generally on the whole. And Alapex is getting up at that level where he's able to, like you said, demolish a bracket and have an incredible run. And I feel like the second place in this group, tied with someone else to be released a little bit later in this group.
Yeah.
Someone that I could see. I feel him and someone else later on in this group are going to be neck and neck to get that second spot along with Pez in my predictions.
It was online round 3 actually. His map score was 20-7. So he was on a 74% map conversion rate, and that was an event with King Kong, Betrayus, Igers, Pro, Bender, all your heavy hitters. So definitely has proven that he can take people out. So we'll be excited to see his play, and his play versus Law actually. I feel like that could be an interesting match. He's very volatile, but Law, I mean, I don't really know much about him. Again, a
Uh,
lot of activity this year.
Law, I believe, used to be. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Silicon player. He had a different name last year, and I met him as well, and he's a really nice guy. I can't remember his previous name because he's been Law for a while.
I'm sure chat will let us know. But
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I swear I was thinking about it when I was looking at the group, and I knew who his name was back then because I wanted to talk about how he used to be a different name in case anyone didn't know who Law was. Ah, God.
it's
No,
going to annoy you all day now.
Yeah.
Um,
Surge. Thank you.
Surge. Yes. Okay. Now
Yeah,
I remember
that's
Surge.
that's
I remember
Surge.
Surge.
So yeah, I haven't actually seen Law/Surge play for a year, so I don't remember. I can't say much about his play style or his level compared to the other guys. The known factors for me are the ones that I've seen, and that's definitely Pez, Alapex, and the other guy is coming next. But
Yeah.
Law is an unknown quantity for me, and if he's going to come out of here, it'd be definitely a dark horse.
Yeah, definitely with you. I mean, it's a tough group for you know anyone outside of the top tier of Southeast Asia. It's going to be hard group for him. So Law's definitely got an uphill battle, but he's definitely got a shot at it. And you were just speaking about the fourth pick of this group, and I'm really excited that Revenant is going to be coming down to ACL Brisbane. He's made top
Woo!
16.
Hype.
Yeah, I'm so excited. He's actually a really nice group. I mean, obviously Pez vs Revenant's going to be pretty sick. I do feel like he is the favorite versus Alapex and Law. So we'll have to see. Revenant going to make the trip over the ocean to Sydney. I don't actually know if he's been to Sydney before. I'll have to maybe ask him that. But
I don't know either. First time I met this guy was at IM Singapore last year. Had the pleasure of meeting a lot of people in person there, along with Blisk as well, who I believe is going to be there in the open bracket to add to the scariness. And Rev, what a bro. Such a nice guy and an incredibly skilled player. Like Alapex, he's been around forever and has a similar skill level, maybe slightly better.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
I was really
yeah,
excited.
he's gonna be a tough one to beat in this group.
Yeah, and like any group, it all depends on how open bracket pans out. But yeah, Revenant, I'm really excited to see Revenant. I'm really excited to meet him as well. Like I think one of the best things about Sydney, outside of obviously the big spectacle that it's going to be, is like you said, meeting all these people and a few new faces. Getting to see Igers again and get to see firsthand how America's treated him. But we'll see. I'm going to get Pez on here shortly once he responds, or if Revenant wants to come on, or if anyone from the group actually wants to come in, they can let me know. But Revenant just confirmed in chat that he's never been to Sydney, so that's going to be exciting.
Sweet.
I'll actually
Super
mention.
excited. I'm actually one of the things that's exciting me the most about ACL Sydney, just while you're trying to work out who's coming on the call, is that I was very, very afraid, like in all honesty. I can say this now because it's not happening, but I was afraid it would just be Australians. And that there would be no Australians returning for this tournament either.
Yeah.
Turns out Australians are coming back from overseas for this tournament, and there is going to be Southeast Asians coming along as well. Our Southeast Asian brothers from across the water. Very excited.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate that Petraeus is he hasn't confirmed, and I doubt that he's coming back. But
I don't think he is.
yeah, but
Yep.
it looks like Marcus is given the all clear to be interviewed.
Rockin', get him
I'm
in
really
here.
excited. Yeah, we got to get Revenant in here. He's a bro. Look at that! Look at that display photo. I
Look at
know
that display picture.
chat
A
can't see
model
it,
shot,
but
if I've ever seen one. Oh my
he
God.
confirmed model. So we'll see. Maybe he's just touching up his hair while he gets the
Where
headset.
is his Calvin Klein? That's what I want to know about this display picture. Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
Marcus, how are you? He's getting his mic. That's fine. We'll no, it's a
The
tough world.
vintage answer the Skype call, then get your mic.
Yeah, it's good.
He's done it. He's done these interviews before, I can tell.
He's just finishing off his model shoot, so we'll see. But I guess my predictions while we wait for
Hello.
Mark. Oh,
Oh,
you guys
there
hear
we
me?
go.
here we can.
Hey, Marcus.
My mic was down, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Were you muted?
Hi
Was it-
guys.
Hello.
How are you?
How you doing, man?
It's good. It's good. I'm excited to come as well. It's my first time in Sydney. If you ask.
Yes, I
Yes.
did. Have you been to Australia before, or Sydney constitute first time into Australia as well?
Actually, I've been to Australia before, but that was when I was in my mommy's tummy. So yeah.
It doesn't count then. In
Doesn't
utero
allow
visits
myself
to
to
countries
just,
don't count, man. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
So this will be your first visit. Sick.
Are you coming?
guys.
excited.
Are you coming down like early, or is it kind of like just here for the tournament and then kind of?
I'm arriving on Friday afternoon and I'm flying off on Tuesday afternoon. So
Okay.
around 5. I'll be there
Awesome.
for 5 days.
Okay, so
So
you have a day
on
after.
Monday, on Monday, definitely go and see like the Opera House and stuff, man. Get the players that are hanging around to show you around.
Mhm.
It's a very, very
will,
nice
go on.
place. Really, you should go and visit Darling Harbour, and you should go and visit obviously the Opera House and the bars around there, and just drink as much as possible, eat as much as possible. It's a good city for all those things.
Yeah, we'll look after you. We'll look after you. So sorry, go.
Don't worry, I have a female companion there to bring me around as well.
Oh,
So
you're
I've got it
you're
covered.
bringing the
Boom.
lady.
Boom.
Oh, tell us more.
Uh,
Is this your dude? What's her name? ASL?
I'm sorry, what?
ASL?
That's a secret.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're not gonna get dirty truths here.
Maybe
It's a shame.
that's the post show off stream.
Yeah, post off stream.
So what's I guess back into your pool? How are your thoughts about the pool that you've been drawn? Pez, Alapex, Law, and obviously yourself.
Well, to be honest, I really wanted to be in King Kong's group. I wanted to play King Kong
Wow.
just because I wanted, like, my mentality was that if I couldn't beat King Kong, there's no point of me going there at all. Cause you need to beat the best to actually have a chance of winning the tournament.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. Can't argue.
Well, drawing to Pairs and Alopex, I think it's a good thing because the last time I met them, I lost to them, so it'll be quite a good experience for me to try and win them on a LAN tournament. And my form has been recently quite good. I've hit Grandmaster in Korea. I've
Oh, nice.
crushed
Congratulations.
I've crushed ACL's online round 4 before I had to drop out. So I'm feeling confident.
Yeah, you
That's
did
good, man.
actually. Yeah. You flew through that online round 4. I saw Crimson 1. I'm like, what? Did he beat you? And then, you just had to go. But
Yeah. Oh,
so-
that's really exciting, man. So your ZZ must be really good right now.
Yeah. I've used Struggle ZZ a lot, and I think I've got it covered right now. And NXZ has helped me quite a bit. Like I used to lose to NXZ most of the time during practice in the past, but I think right now I'm quite confident against him at NXZ. So
Yeah, he mentioned that he
I'm
was
quite
very
sad for
happy
it.
that he's not. He's very happy that he's not in a group with you. So, if
So-
that says anything.
yeah. I've asked this of the other two guys, Revenant. So you've already kind of answered the question in King Kong in saying who you want to play and perhaps who you'd want to miss or avoid. So King Kong, you won't be able to play him in the pools. However, if you do make it into the championship round, there's probably a high probability you will hit him at some point if you keep winning. So maybe that dream will come true.
Well, to be honest, if it's the playoffs, I'd rather not hit King Kong from the very start because if it's a single elimination, it'd be quite sad to go there and just get knocked out.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see whether I can rope in a double limb. I think that's what a lot of people would like. It's just we'll see what the scheduling's like. But
Yeah, more games the better, of course, as is always
Yeah,
the case.
definitely.
So I guess have you what with your experience with XL5? You've been with them for a while now, yeah. So do you get to train with them a lot, like NXZ? Like, is that why he didn't want to play you? Do you guys train with each other, or do you play with King
Um,
Kong? I know you didn't have internet until recently, but
well, my training buddy is more or less NXZ most of the time because Pick is often playing tournaments and right now overseas, and King Kong, as you said, doesn't have much internet. So like my training partner is literally NXZ and no one else. And yeah.
Okay. Well, your ZVZ must be looking pretty good. And how's your? I don't even know if I want to ask how your ZVP is right now. I don't really want to give it away, in just in case Pez is watching.
I think my ZVP is quite volatile. Like I may have good games, I may have bad games. It really depends on how I absorb information on a day itself, I guess. But overall, I've got a few builds prepared, so it's all good.
Very nice. And also one more thing, just out of my personal interest, how would you feel if Igus or Blisk or both picked your group?
I don't think I have an issue with that because I'm aiming for the first in the group. So even if I hit them and both of them get first and second, I will still qualify. So yeah.
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I am super excited to get to meet you. It's been a long time in the making, and it's always exciting. This is actually, well, you and Blisk, and I guess technically Igers as well, but we'll be the first guys to travel over for ACL from international waters. So definitely excited for that.
Oh, well, if you don't count all the New Zealanders that have been in the
Yeah,
past
no,
year.
they're all.
Is it really an international flight though?
Yeah,
It's like
let's be
2
honest.
hours. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Was-
It takes longer to fly to Perth.
Yeah, Frustration's got more of an international flight than New Zealand. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely really excited to meet you. All the best for your preparation in the coming weeks, and I guess just study hard, and we'll see you soon.
All right, I'll see you guys soon as well. I can't wait.
All right, see you, buddy. All right, cool. Oh man, I'm a big fan. If you didn't know
He's so
Revenant before,
so
like,
kawaii.
and you watch this, I feel like you can't not be a big fan of him. Like his
Yeah.
laugh just is contagious. But
Yeah.
anyway,
He's like a permanently grinning dude.
yeah.
If you look at the pictures, there's times when he tries not to smile, but he smiles anyway. You like can't actually help it. He's too cheerful. Too goddamn cheerful. Wally.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The final group. Now, a lot of you would know that with only 4 people left to reveal that the group has been confirmed. But for those of you who haven't been following the kind of cross-off list, the first player in this group is going to be Hut. He's the only Terran in the top 16, the highest Terran in ACL 2014, and
hashtag cut for Hut.
Yes, hashtag cut for Hut, or was it cat for hat? Was
Cat for hat, yep.
was coming out there as well. But for those of you who missed Brisbane, or even if you did watch it, just go watch the finals again. Versus King Kong.
Yeah, there actually are VODs worth watching for sure from our region. Like you wouldn't say like we have the highest level games all the time, but that was definitely well tiered. It was a great series, an amazing series even.
Yeah, and I mean his results in online round 3. I do know I spoke with him afterwards because he dropped out early. He said he hadn't really been able to have much time to practice just after ACL Brisbane. So I'm actually not sure how much he's been practicing. Well, I'm sure he's ramped it up coming into the last couple of weeks, but definitely excited. If we have an on target kind of on point Hut, then he is almost unstoppable. So we'll have to see who's going to take him down. But Wally, we spoke about him earlier, and he's going to be the second one in this group.
Yeah.
So
everyone was wondering where's Wally.
Yeah, well, there he is. He's been hiding in the middle of Kerrigan's face on Pool D. So
yeah, right on the bridge.
So Wally, he's definitely one of the more vocal players. Not necessarily emotional, just more of the trash talk variety. So we'll have to see if he can walk the walk versus Hut. But I must say, Wally is very entertaining. If you see past the initial kind of, I guess some would call it trolliness of him, I do see through that to a kind soul perhaps down there deep down. But we'll see. I think he's definitely got a tough group.
Wally's been around for a long time on SC2C, and he's obviously better now than he was before. But when he was playing and he used to just talk about his games in SE2C, I thought, God, is this kid going to be hanging from his closet one day? Like, he is he's always seems so depressed and so sad. I'm like, Wally, please cheer up. He retires every week. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Retires and comes back, retires and comes back. You know how I always say, you never truly retire from StarCraft 2. Well, this guy took it to a new level. And and lately he's sort of going that sort of like he's not even sad right now. He's actually just legitimately angry at Blizzard. It's really really funny. I find it hilarious. I don't know if he's actually angry or not. I actually feel like he's just not actually serious, but it's entertaining. I'm glad I followed this guy. I'll tell you a quick story. I was watching him stream, and I just jumped into his stream one day randomly because I was just looking for streams to watch, and Wally was there on the side. And I said, oh, if you win this ZVP, he was behind when I said it as well. I said, if you win this ZVP, I'll follow you and promote your stream. And obviously he won it. The rest is history. And since I've been following him, I have not regretted it. It is an entertaining Twitter account. That's it. Quotations, entertaining.
Yes, obviously have to have the right sense of humor, but I'm with you on that one. So he's got Hut, and he also has Soundwave. So Soundwave is Zerg, and Soundwave's actually been very active as well this year. He came to Brisbane, and he actually wrote quite a long blog on SE2 SEA. Like, he's a very passionate man, and definitely really excited about what's happening and wants to kind of really succeed as a player. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how his Sydney, I guess, journey pans out for him. Bit of a tough battle versus Hut, but maybe versus Wally there's a close game there. We'll see.
Soundwave, like the fourth guy in this group, I feel like not quite at the level as the first two.
Yeah.
I think this has been consistent. Like I think, Soundwave's obviously he's a lot better than most people. He's very very good, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got a map or two off of anyone in this group. To be honest, I mean this isn't in my eyes the group of death, but it's certainly a group where he can do some damage. I feel like he may not go through though as top 3, but actually no, if it is 3, I think he will go through. I'll change that. But I feel Hut and Wally are the top 2 if this is if it's the 2 that go through.
Yeah.
And Soundwave is I've been able to cast him as well. He's got a really good knowledge of the game, and like you said, very passionate as well. So I got a lot of respect for that guy. I do hope he shows us some GGs in Sydney, and I think he will.
Yes, I am excited as well. And the fourth and final player to be revealed, it's going to be Peppy.
Peppy. Now, what can we say about Peppy, Bolly?
Well, he's definitely got a tough group, that's for sure. That's the first thing I can say. But I'm going to give it to him. He's also been very active. He's gone 29 and 19 this year in ACL. He finished up 14th overall. Like I said, there's a lot of events for ACL this year, so that's no small feat. That's a 60% win conversion rate. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I definitely couldn't do that myself. Just trying to have a look at what his best result was. Having a look here, he actually did come 5th. There we go, the Brisbane LAN. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown recent results, and recent results are really really good. They're obviously the better you do recently, the more that matter. Like if you were great 2 years ago, fantastic, but it doesn't really matter much in 2014. You know what I mean? And if he's doing recent results, that's great. But I can't really speak to his skill level or how he's going to go in this group based off one result. I mean, it definitely shows that he has the potential to do very well. But he hasn't. I haven't consistently seen good numbers from Peppy, but recently doing that well in Brisbane in a LAN environment, no less, definitely shows a lot of promise.
Yeah.
So I would love to see him do great in this group. I would love a new dark horse reach the community. And really just show himself off and get a bit of a following here. Well, I think the bigger names in these groups already have a bit of a following, and they already have a fan club, even if it's 5 people. It's still an incredible. I find that the fan clubs for our C players, every time you see a C player on an international tournament, we all come out of the woodwork and we are so loud and so passionate. And when it's a small group, and that's a relatively small group as far as the world goes, but when you have a little group of mates following you, or just people that you've won over from streaming and being a cool personality, they are so passionate and loud, and they can change your play style. So hopefully, there's a few in the crowd that are screaming for Peppy come in Sydney. They're given that extra bit. You can always hear the screams.
You can.
If you're on the stage.
You can.
And hopefully, the screams of cheering and not in fear.
Yeah, that's especially on my end. I hope it's definitely enjoyment. But we are actually going to get old mate Nick, old mate Hut. He's actually got
Oh,
a
big
display
boy.
photo from Brisbane where he did
Rightfully so.
win that
It's
game.
to show how he felt after his game versus Pez, I believe that's what that shot is from. He'll be able to confirm for me shortly.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hello, how are you?
Boy,
Yeah, good. You can hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sweet.
happy 21st.
Thanks, mate. It was good.
That's I'm a bit cut. I didn't get invited. I did check the mailbox every 3 days, but it didn't come along. That's fine. See you the 22nd.
He'll be there. He'll be there. It's coming.
No worries. A little bit late, but that's fine.
So your group, 3 Zags. I guess I would imagine you're feeling pretty confident.
I don't know. It's a bit weird. Because obviously Wally and myself practice together a fair bit. And we'll have days where I beat him 10-0, and then the next day he'll beat me 10-0. And then whoever's winning in practice loses in the tournament game that we play. So last time we practiced, he beat me. So I'm assuming I'm going to beat him in this group.
The cycle is complete.
Yeah.
Just don't practice with him until the.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't want to start winning those practice games, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's bad practice, obviously. Soundwave, I beat him at Brisbane. So he's a good player, but I think he'd be better at ZVZ than he is at ZVT. So I shouldn't have a problem with him too much. Peppy, he beat me at Brisbane. Like, Petrify couldn't do that. Chobo couldn't do that. Like, these good Zergs couldn't beat me, and Peppy beat me, and I was really stressed out that I wouldn't get through in first in my group. So yeah, I think he's actually a player to watch in this group. I would fancy myself to beat him this time around, of course, but maybe he can snag second if Wally's not on top of his game, but we'll see.
When you first joined the call, I was going to ask: do the letters E and Z come to mind when you think about your group, or do you find that
I don't know.
have you got a hard slog ahead of you, Nick?
I was sort of arrogant last time around, and I did pretty well. So
I mean,
Although,
if it works for
yeah.
you, then I mean, shit, man.
I remember Petrified. He said he wasn't going to drop a map, and then he just was a bit of choke.
mate, he was easy. He was the big easy in that group. Sure. I'll keep myself a bit reserved this time around, just because it is a bit of an easier group. Probably even compared to Brisbane, it's easier. But I would probably expect the 2 open brackets to come in this group. I can see the Igers or Mighty Kiwi coming into this group quite easily, and probably minimum top 3, of course. That shouldn't be a problem, even top 2ing. So we'll just see.
Yeah. And then come the championship bracket, would you want to have a rematch versus King Kong, or is there somebody you'd like to verse, someone you'd like to miss?
I don't know. Obviously, I had pretty good brackets at Brisbane to avoid King Kong and Pig until the finals. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think I played really well versus King Kong, a lot better than I thought I actually was. Because before the tournament, I made I was watching the Super Smash Brothers documentary, and I was listening to Korean DJ talking about how he made a list of players that were better than him. And I sort of did that, just wrote down who's better than me, who can beat me in a best of 3, basically. And I was 8 or 7 names on there. Yeah, but Maynard was number 1.
Yeah, that's all right. I know that. We'll get our chance one day, the throwdown.
One day. But yeah, King Kong and Pig were 1 and 2, basically. And I was these are the guys I can't even take a game off. So I was quite happy to beat King Kong in a macro game. But I think he's actually quite weak versus Terran. Because rewatching those games, I definitely could have beaten him if I was a little more prepared, or I was just better. So I even think Igers or someone can actually beat him. So
I agree with you. I feel ZVT is his weakest matchup. It's a shame that there's not more Terrans to play against.
Yeah, obviously he's a god at ZVZ because his micro is just far and away above everyone else.
It's disgusting. I actually feel like I'm going to throw up when I watch him play with his micro. How he's had
exactly.
6 lings with 6 lings and all of his lings will live. Doesn't make sense.
It's pretty good. But once again, Blizzard is looking at patching Terran, so maybe they'll chuck that in before the tournament, which would be quite handy. But
yeah. So what are we looking at? We're looking at possibly faster medevacs or longer boosts.
Yeah, something with medevacs and something with mines, but I don't know.
Larger radius mine detonations, I believe, if I remember the patch notes.
I don't know if it'll make too much of a difference, but I don't know. Any buff is obviously good the Terran.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Buff's a buff,
especially
man.
just before a tournament, like it's still pretty volatile, like how much of a difference it makes. And I
But
guess,
but
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing
well,
is, it'll only affect 2 players.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's still a mental thing because, like, when I got back to Sydney after Brisbane, Pig, like, because he's my housemate, he was just like, dude, why didn't you just use Hellbats? Like, just do a Hellbat cheese. And I'm like, I practiced with it on ladder, and like, I didn't feel they were good at all. And like, there was a few in Pro League that were okay, but like, it's sort of been worked out already. Like, you can't just do it on ladder and it just works all the time now. Like, I don't know. It's just Terra needs a lot more options, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
yeah,
I think just standard macro, like as long as the 2 players are equally skilled, like it will be. It's just down to who controls better in the engagements and whatnot.
Well, I'm just gonna before we move on and talk about whatever we need to talk about. I just want to say that my dream. I think I've told you about this in Skype maybe a month ago. My dream is an Argus Hut grand final, the TVT.
Yeah, my TVT is
That-
really bad, but
I don't actually care.
yeah.
Just
Were you listening? It's not about who wins. It's
I
just
just
you
want
get
it.
there.
Yeah, I just want it to happen, man. I don't care who wins. I mean, obviously, if you win, that's going to be extremely hype. But yeah, I just haven't. I don't remember the last time I've cast a TVT. To be honest, I want it to be a grand final, and I want everyone to be sitting there with their jaws on the ground, going, "What the hell are we watching right now?"
yeah, to be honest, I think last Sydney, when I played Death in the group stages, was the last time I played a TVT in like a tournament setting properly. So it's been a while, but obviously I didn't even need to practice it for Brisbane, but this time around I'm going to be a lot more well-rounded in terms of the matchups. So
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited. It's always good to catch up with you, Hut. Just prancing around
Is
there,
it Baldy? You
looking all
sounded a bit
cute.
apprehensive there. You
Yeah.
sure?
Well, I was wondering how front, like up front to be with him. I didn't want to kind of push him up too much.
Well, just he thinks his group's easy,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they'll be on quotation marks on Twitter in like 20 minutes. Be like, Hud said this group's easy, and then the shit talk will start again, and we'll go from there.
Well,
And
that's what we love.
and
That's
it's
what
all
we
good
love.
fun. We all enjoy it. That's how we know a tournament's coming up. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Well, thanks again, Hut, for your time, and obviously all the best with your upcoming practice. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, and hopefully you can get in the top 3 and earn $1,000 or a couple of thousand.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cheers, buddy.
See you guys.
All right, so that are all 4 groups. We've done it.
Can we, just as a special request, as a favor to me, can we go over the groups one more time just to show them all? We don't have to talk about them each. Just go A, B, C, and D, and then have a quickly talk about who's coming in the open bracket before we leave.
Yeah, you read my mind. I was just about to do that, and we still have a little bit to talk about from the structure of it. So that sounds great.
Okay.
Let's go straight.
Let's
back
do it.
into Pool A. So King Kong, Crimson, NXZ, CHOBOSNIPER, Aussies. It's I guess what King Kong favorite, NXZ second, or Crimson might be able to knock him off there, but Chobo's got a tough group.
I feel from top left, if you read to the right and then back down again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
They're my picks to come through.
All right, Pool B, we have Petrify, Probe, Kez, and Schnitzel. So we have our first Protoss reveal, and well, technically 2. Might be playing a bit of off race here and there. Petrify, favorite. I know you've gone left, right, down to bottom. So Petrify and Probe, definitely the 2 favorites. Kez might be able to sneak in there, and Schnitzel's got a bit of work behind him as well. But
yeah, I feel Kez and Probe are about the same. It's really hard to say between those two guys, but I do feel 1, 2, 3, 4 again.
All right, Pool C. We have Pez, Alapex, Law, Revenant, Protoss, 3 Zergs. We have Revenant coming over from overseas. Looking forward to that. But yeah, Pez and Revenant, probably 2 favorites, I would have to say. Alapex and Law, we'll see what happens between them. And actually, that goes against. Would you put Revenant above Law? There you go. That goes against your 1, 2, 3, 4.
Actually, there's the one that breaks my formula because I feel Alapex and Revenant are definitely above Law in my brain.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
But that said, Law is an unknown quantity to me, just like Peppy.
Yeah, we'll take that rules.
Yep.
Hut, Wally, Soundwave, and Peppy, we just spoke about them in Pool D. Hut, definitely the favorite in my eyes, and then we'll have to see actually who's the second. I mean, Wally, probably the upper hand on Soundwave and Peppy, but like we said, both of them do have a shot at taking out Wally.
It sounds like Peppy's getting a bit of hype behind him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
The people in chat talking about Peppy, you talking about Peppy. Hut talking about Peppy. I didn't realize Peppy beat him. So
Yeah, I forgot as
really
well.
exciting.
And actually, yeah, like you said, he came in the championship bracket. He was doing very well. So that are the 4 groups. I will update that onto the various places, the ACL website and SG2SCA, so that you guys can have a look as we jump back onto our cams. It's been a while since you've seen our faces, so hopefully you're not scared. But before we sign off, I just want to give a few updates about some, not changes, but some updates about ACL Sydney. I know you guys have been asking about map pool, and I'm happy to announce that WCS Challenger actually will be using the Season 3 map pool, so we will as well. So basically that is, for those of you who aren't aware, that's the map pool that came out 2 days ago, I believe it was. It's Foxtrot Labs, Catalel.
Yeah, don't hate
Catel.
yourself.
I'm just going to call it Cat.
Okay.
If Hut plays on that, it's 100% Cat for Hat.
Cat for
So
hat.
Nimbus, obviously KSS, so King, and Overgrowth, Merry-Go-Round, and Deadwing. So we'll update all the threads with that. It's kind of exciting. There's a few new maps in there, so it's going to be a few new strategies. People will probably still be sussing it out, but it does mean that you guys can just play on ladder and still be getting tournament practice. So
Sick pool. That's really exciting.
yeah, they will all be ladder editions. So no changes, no TEs or anything like that. I can confirm at the moment we have 46 registered players. So if you take out the 16 pros, that is 30 in the open bracket so far, which is really exciting. You can still register for the open bracket. Actually, all the details you need, I am just going to post you guys in the chat. There you go. So if you want anything about registering, any initial details, where to go, where it is, etc., go to that link. But you can register up until closure on the actual day of the tournament. So already 30. It's exciting. Lots of new blood, and actually, let's while we're on that, we should probably talk about who's actually in the open bracket, because it's no small open bracket here. I feel like this is where you want to really shine here, Maynard, and then give your thoughts.
I'm so excited for this open bracket, Baldy. Like many major tournaments, IEM, MLG, whatever, they have a bunch of really scary people in the open bracket. Some would even say the open bracket is scarier than the group stages. And I believe that is the case for ACL Sydney as well. We have got Iagus, needs no introduction, the Gimli Terran, coming back from the States to play in this tournament. Blisk, coming from another Southeast Asian, coming along with Revenant, same country, coming down to do a bit of damage. Another Protoss. Yep, another Southeast Asian. Mighty Kiwi, a New Zealander, coming down. Mighty Kiwi recently come back from America as well, staying at the Root House in the Seed group. And he is, a lot of people would say that he is an extremely scary player. He's up there with a lot of the people that are going to be coming first in their groups, I believe, in skill. Frustration, coming from Perth. This guy, for some reason, has really pulled his thumb out and become an incredible Protoss player. I was very gobsmacked. Like, I would literally had my mouth hanging open while casting. Well, I mean, you needed your mouth open to cast, but when Zeph was casting and I was taking a break, I was sitting there with my mouth open, like, watching Frustration play. The kid is good.
Yeah,
I mean, he goes Dark Templars a little bit more than I like, but but he's very, very, very good. And Phyto, guy that's got a following, a very passionate following. He's an incredible Protoss. We can always think about his Season 1 WCS qualifier run, where he just destroyed a whole bunch of people, only to fall to Iagus eventually in the end. But an incredible player. Ninja. Who remembers that guy?
Yeah.
Ninja is going to be in the open bracket. Previous, XG King player. This kid is a Frenetic Array player. This kid is incredible. He was one of the best. He was coached by a pig, only to pretty much become his skill level towards the end, towards when he retired.
Yeah, he was brutal when he was at his peak.
Yeah. So really excited to see he come back. He's another guy that I'm friends with and really excited to see. And Rival coming along as well with others that we don't even like. There's 40. What you say? 40 something people. 30 confirmed.
Yeah, 30 for the open bracket confirmed so far.
I talked about probably the 6 or 7 that are standing out for me in my eyes as people that I think Iagus, Blisk, Mighty Kiwi, and maybe even Frustration are probably going to be like their top 4 material.
Yeah,
they are incredible players, and I would not be surprised at all to see Ninja Fido go deep as well, because they are So exciting and really, really skilled as well.
Yeah, I guess it all just depends how much practice they've going in, as a lot of people know. And Ninja, sorry, took a break, and Fido's kind of been a bit MIA for a while there. But fun fact about frustration: this is actually the first ACL he will have come to, living up, or actually, I guess living, however you want to say it, living at Perth. It's quite a
Yeah.
far away. So he's actually going to be traveling further than most of the New Zealand people. So I'm really excited for that as well. This is, well, if you don't include obviously WCS, he was there in 2012 for that.
Yeah, same venue, I believe. So he'll be coming back to
Yep,
the same venue again.
yep. And like we said, we've still got plenty of time to sign up. So if you're watching this and you haven't signed up and you want to come down, then please do sign up. Go on the various. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll have the links in the description. It's a $30 entry, and then if you make it into pool play, then you pay an additional 25 to go into that next stage. And then
Yeah.
from there, if you make it into champions, it's free from there, and that's when you get a shot at $7,500.
Well, that's when you start looking at money. And to also sweeten that pot a little bit, Baldy, this is, of course, a WCS Challenger
It
qualifier.
is. It is
So
indeed.
this means, I mean, King Kong's already got a spot. So potentially if King Kong's in the grand final, whoever he's playing is going to take that spot. But
Yep.
they'll be battling for the cash. And speaking of cash, if they get into Challenger, that's an extra $600 minimum,
Yep.
with potentially an extra $2,000 if they make it to Premier.
Yeah, there's a
So,
lot. There's a lot of money on the line.
huge dollars.
If any of you haven't seen the breakdown, I will quickly recap it. So 7.5. First place 3,000. Second place 2,000. Third place
Wow.
1,000. So top three each in the quadruple digits there.
So like the third place makes more than most ACL prize pools over the last 3 years.
Yeah, because all
So
our
that's
ACLs in the
huge
past have
money.
been 1,000 for first. So that's huge. Fourth is 500. Fifth and sixth split 300 each, and seventh, eighth split 200 each. So even if you come top eight, you're still making a nice bit of mint, bit of cash there. So, and like you say, if you do make that WCS seed, then you're guaranteed another 600 on top of that, and the opportunity to represent, I guess, our region at WCS and potentially go further on from that. So that's really exciting. Obviously, this is a lot more money than we've seen in any previous events. So really excited. If you have any reason to try out and have your shot, this is the one to come to, because this
I mean,
may or may not be something that happens, again in the future. So you really want to make sure you utilize this one.
yeah, I mean, to touch on that, this is probably going to be, I think it is the last big event, local LAN event for StarCraft 2 for the rest of the year. And what an event. It's basically the biggest thing we've had since WCS 2012. If you live in this country and you're not coming and you're a passionate StarCraft 2 fan, you better have a damn good excuse or a missing limb or something. And I mean like a leg, like something that's actually going to hinder you from walking here, because if you've got a missing arm, you can still cheer. I want you to see you down in Sydney. I want to hug and meet all the new people that are coming along. The StarCraft family, I love you all. You better be there. These groups are going to be incredible. Look at that open bracket. Look at the groups. Look at that prize pool. We've got a big stage. We've got a big crowd, lots of seats, and I want to see them full of nerds.
Yeah,
Full of StarCraft 2 nerds.
We are going to be in the theatre area of the Australian Technology Park, so you can check out the further details on our various areas. But a few questions about WCS booths and the like. All I'll say is you'll want to be there, because there's going to be a 6-stage presence. So I'm not going to give away any secrets, anything like that, or anything. You're going to have to come down or watch it on the stream and have a glimpse occasionally at what that looks like. But definitely worth it. We're really pushing the spectator experience. So if you are in the area, definitely come down. Free spectating, so no entry fee for that. Just your cheerfuls. Your voice and your passion is all we request.
Yeah, it'll be an incredible spectacle for spectators. Not like Brisbane. This is actually a spectator-focused event, as well. You know, obviously going to make it great for the players, but also great for you guys as well to watch. And it'll be something that you won't forget for quite a while. It's going to be huge. Yeah. So please do yourself a favor. Don't even do us a favor. Do yourselves a favor and come to ACL Sydney.
Indeed. Well, that's all the information I have to give for tonight. Obviously, we've gone through the pool, so they will be updated on the various pages, and the map pool will be updated. So in regards to the tournament structure, that will be finalized in the coming weeks. So look out for that. We'll make sure we make that very well known, because that does impact the tournament quite a bit, obviously in that that final part. So it's purely, ideal world, we'll try and make it a round of 12 double limb, but it's purely based on the scheduling and how much we can realistically squeeze in there. We want to make it the most enjoyable experience for the players, the fairest experience, and so we'll do what we can to give you the most amount of games. But regardless, we can guarantee that there'll be some awesome games on show. So
Guarantee it.
if you are going to be watching on stream, it will be actually this stream. So ACL Pro SC2 on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, all the details will be in the description. Do you have any other final thoughts, Maynard? Obviously, you'll be casting there with Zeph.
Yep.
And we'll get a few pros up there as well, perhaps to give a bit of a cameo appearance on the old stream. Any final thoughts on the pools or Sydney coming up or anything like that?
I'm not the most emotive person in the world, but I'm like wiggly and jiggly. You can probably tell in my chair that I'm like rocking and back and forth and actually jiggling around in my chair because I'm legitimately that hyped for ACL Sydney. It's going to be incredible. All my fears about the tournament have been dashed away by the amount of players and the amount of talent that are coming down, the amount of work that ACL's putting in. We'll talk about what's going to be on stage as well. It's just going to be a real spectacle, and I'm honored to be a part of it as always. ACL always do a good job. They're the best in StarCraft 2 lands, have been since the beginning. So they're going to continue that quality, I'm sure. And Zeph and I will be bringing you quality. I'm very excited. Actually, the second thing that I'm most excited about is to meet new people and to see old friends as well. I haven't seen any of the StarCraft 2 friends in person since Sydney last year.
Wow.
Which was like August or some shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. It's almost
so I haven't seen Zeph, Zeph, I love Zeph to pieces. I'm so excited to see her. I haven't seen her since almost a year ago. And
I'm glad we
so
can
excited to see everyone and to be casting in person. I feel like if anyone enjoys our casts online, we're so much better in person. The Archon's much better and it's behind a desk. So we'll be bringing you a good show, guys, and obviously bringing on pro players is always good as well. Lots of great personalities like Kez, T-Gun in the past has also cast as well. A few other guys that I'm not going to spoil are probably going to be on the desk as well. So it's really, really exciting.
Yeah, definitely exciting.
And that's my last words. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me tonight. It's been great to get your insights and a bit of trash talk with Schnitzel went down well. Hopefully he's all right about it. But the final thing I'll leave you guys with is definitely let your friends know. Obviously, you guys watching this, you're probably the more diehard fans, the guys that are searching for this kind of content. But anyone who likes StarCraft, or even if they want to get to know what the game is, this is a perfect opportunity to either bring them down to the event or to have them watch the stream and see what it's like for our region and who's playing and get to know the scene. And if you go to uni, let the unis know. I don't know, make posters, get hyped, or whatever you want to do. Anything is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, you can tweet at ACL Pro or myself or any of the main people, and they'll redirect you if they can't answer the question. So thank you again. Look forward to seeing all of you in Sydney. It's on July the 19th and 20th at the Australian Technology Park. And that's all. I'm just going to leave it at that. So all the best. We'll see you in a few weeks, Maynard.
See you then, man. So excited. Hopefully see a lot of you guys too.
All right. See you guys.